Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, September 20th, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, NVIDIA, MSTY, SMCY, PLTY, and HOOY. We're starting a little late, my bad. It started with a snooze here and a snooze there, and yeah, there we go. So it is what it is, and let's get it moving. Bitcoin update, 115K, whatever, come on, red. It's going to be red weekend. Someone asked me to talk about this yesterday. This is, I guess, the exchanges who hold the most Bitcoin. And if you're curious about the top five, Coinbase and Binance are, Coinbase number 1, Binance 2, Bitfinex 3, Gemini 4, and then OakX at 5. If you care. Do you care? I don't know, but there it is. All right, so let's get to the trades. There's a lot of them, man. It's freaking Friday's trades. So what do you want? Holy crap. MSTY. I don't know what to say. Just a lot of trades. Look at this. Oh my God. 23 freaking mil. 23 mil realized income. Well, that's good. However, plugging in the trades, yeah, that's suckety doo-dah yesterday for me. So I know, wah for me. So real quick, what did MSTR do yesterday? Let's see. Yesterday was September 19th. MSTR, they went down 1.25%. MSTY went down 0.99%. So, again, they had some gains and then they lost some of the gains, right? So it is what it is, right? We're not nothing crazy yesterday. Looking at the IV, sits at 51 as of yesterday, still at 51 today at the 30-day IV, and then the 7-day forward is 52. I'm assuming the audio is good, by the way. Let me just double check here. More volume. What is that? I don't know if that's for me. Audio. Someone said audio is good. So then we're good. Hopefully X audio is good as well. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll up here and we're going to see the trades. Because again, let me go through one trade individually, just again for new people just starting to follow me, maybe understanding these funds. Again, covered call ETF. They essentially, they move with the underlying. In this example, MSTY, their underlying is MSTR. So they have a synthetic position, which again kind of replaces, owning the shares, right? It tracks the movement of the underlying. So let's get that out of the equation for now. So how do they make income? They make income through selling covered calls. So here's an example. They chose 5,000 contracts from the synthetic, right? And they sold a covered call on September 10th, right? And they sold it at 350. All right. So, where is it? Yeah, at the money. I mean, the out of the money percentage at the time was 7%. Okay. So obviously, they left some room to move its ass, right? Because at the time, MSTR was what, 326, it looks like. So, the goal was hopefully MSTR goes up, but if it stays below the 350, then guess what? This will be a profitable trade. And if you look, the as at out of the money is showing still 1.52% out of the money. And if you look up on the top, MSTR price 344, less than 350. So again, this is the opening price. This is how much credit they got for opening it. And this is the closing price per share. So if you look at total numbers, they got 2.9 million credit for selling that covered call. And when they had to close it, which again was yesterday, they paid $75,000. So in the end, this was a profit of 2.9 million. And if you calculate percentage wise, it was a 97% profit. So again, this is the, this is a covered call fund. There's so many damn transactions I can't go through all of them like this, but again, I just wanted to go through one, at least individually, to show you guys, well, this was a successful one, obviously. And I can also go through a bad one. Let's go through a bad one. Here's a bad one. 5,000 contracts. They, same thing on September 10th. They chose a 345, though. The 345 was 5% out of the money at the time. And if you look, we closed at 344, right? But MSTR, we don't know, right? We don't know what price it was when they closed it, but obviously it was probably above the 345. So they had to pay $7.78. That is more than the credit per share that they got. So in this example, this is showing to be a losing trade, unfortunately. So here you can see they got a $2 million credit when they opened it. And when they closed it, they had to pay 3.8 mil. So overall, they lost 1.8 mil, on that trade. Okay. But as you can see, anything that's, showing in column T, this was for yesterday, right? What they closed yesterday. And it's basically what they, made for the week. So anything, obviously these zeros here, these are new trades that are open for next week. But I'm going to highlight this bunch here from down here all the way up. And you could see, obviously, how much profit was made, which was 32.4 million. All right. So that's how much they made on the trades that they closed yesterday, whether they are expired yesterday or they could have expired next week and they decided to close them early. So obviously, MSTR still not moving. It did have a good day, Thursday, and then it's, looks like it's back to the normal boring thing, Oh, wait, sorry. I did highlight one that was, or two that are still open. All right. And then if you go down here, obviously, these are all the new trades for next week. I know there's so many freaking trades. And here's another one. They closed early, but there's just a lot. And it's just a very busy fund, needless to say. So they were, YieldMax was busy yesterday. I was busy yesterday, logging the trades, but we got them all. You could see the profit percentages and all. But overall, yes, good day. If you want more detail, please let me know. But I think that was enough. Again, I don't know. You guys got to tell me. I mean, should I go through every single freaking trade on the Saturday? Probably not, because we'll be here all day. All right. So outstanding shares did decrease by 125,000. Okay. Again, so the decrease is still happening. MSTY price, $16 still. So that's good. 1604. MSTR price, 344.75. 30-day IV, 51%. 7-day forward IV, 52%. Outstanding shares, 283 mil. Total net income, 56 mil. Total distribution, 20 cents. Total daily income, 1 penny. Daily yield, 0.05%. And if you annualize that, sucker, only 18%. All right. Well, hey, it is what it is. It's going to be one of those payments, man. We're going to cry, but we'll see. All right. Bitcoin, I just checked the supply this morning. Circulating supply increased by 287 Bitcoin. Okay, I didn't update that, but they did not obviously add Bitcoin again. I didn't check, but, pretty sure they did not. All right, so let's compare all the other funds. MSTR price, again, they went down 1.25%. MSTY went down about 1%. Winter went up 1.36%. And IMST went down only 0.56%. Good job, broskies. MST went down 2.69%. MS2 went down 1.57%. And then MSTW went down 1.2%. So the winner is IMST. So congratulations. All right. Let's move on to reaction. Yeah, that's the only word I got for you guys. Busy. Sometimes I open the trades and I'm just like, yeah. Group D, by the way, they declare when? Next week. So tomorrow morning we'll come up with a guesstimate, and you probably won't like it, but hey, it is what it is. Speaking of the guesstimate, again, we have the synthetic breakdown, we have the extrinsic breakdown, and then we have the weeklies, and then we have the net income. Obviously, we can't use the synthetics, which, know, and we can't use the net. We got to focus on the weeklies, 56 mil, 20 cents, not happening. Extrinsic, this is possible, 78 cents. That could be our number. So if you look, 78 cents would be a 63% yield. So I'm thinking that's our number, right? I think at first I was throwing out 80 cents on my options spreadsheet. I'll double check that, but so it could round up to 80 cents, but I'm feeling pretty good about the 78 cent, you know, guesstimate. I just thought, you know, thought about that now, right? But again, tomorrow, who the hell knows? It might change. If you look at simply the IVs, we're looking at 63 to 64 cents. I think they'll pay more than that. But yeah, it's going to be under $1. There's not even like a question anymore. So let's get over that. All right. So let's look at the synthetics. What do we got? What do you do? What do you say? They have an October expiration. It's a gold digger for sure. It's a 410, 237 mil. So she take my money. That's all I'll give you today. And then they got a 330 and a 340. They expire in November. Are they doing all right? Yeah, so far so good. But you got to watch out for that gold digger. Oh, I didn't even update this one. Jeez. See, I'm rushing everything. Oh, this was not a good morning. It was you know, the long ass week, you know, I paid for it today. It was exhausting, we'll just say that. All right, so these, you know, obviously we highlight these orange because they are the long call, right? The part of the synthetic position. And then over here, these are, yeah, I don't know what happened. I guess I didn't even finish looking at MSTY. All right, so the formulas down below are probably all screwed up. But these are the positions for next week. Again, if you look, this is the download of the holdings. If you wanted to download the holdings and look yourself, you know, they got what? Expiration date, September 26th. That's next Friday. They all expire next Friday. All right. All the covered calls and, you know, long calls. Obviously, the synthetics are different, but they're highlighted a different color. So if we look, the covered calls are in blue. They are 2.97% out of the money, all the way up to 7.32% out of the money. So, you know, again, is that safe? I don't know. They added credit call spreads, though. You know, that's something a little different. Last week they did not. So we'll see how the week goes, and we'll go from there. Again, I don't know if I updated this. This probably changed. Yeah, see, so the 410, got to pick up this cell 19. 410, you can see net together. It's, you know, it's worth negative 79 cents per share. If we look at the 330, where the hell is the 330? Cell 20. We'll take that. That comes to, you know, on paper, it's worth 114 mil. That's 40 cents per share. And then we go to the 345, which will be a little less, obviously. Change that to 21. And that's worth about 3 cents per share. And then the weeklies, I don't really talk about this little piece here, but what I do is I highlight, you know, all the, you know, the weekly expirations to see what they net, you know, how much it would cost to close them today, 45 million. So, all right. Anyway, the value of the MSTY fund is 4.5 mil. The NAV is 1605, and the trade price is 1604. All right. Synthetic contracts, how you doing? No, how you doing? Again, it's not updated, so I got to update it real quick. 19 to 21. Boom. 133,115 contracts. Let me double check that on my synthetic 330. 138,115. Is that what I said? No, that's 133. So I need what? Oh, so this is red. We got to close this out. We got to red this out, get rid of the 375. Okay, so we got the 410, the 395. Wait, we don't want the 395 either. There is no. Let's try that. 133, 115. Okay, that matches. All right, good. Total contracts they are selling calls on. I will highlight the blue ones, 13 to 16. All right, 109,000. So they're selling calls on 82% of the total synthetic position. Credit call spreads, they actually have them. So I do have to put the formula in. And let's add them up real quick. Only these two right here. And that will total 37,000. So of the 82% covered calls, they got credit call spreads on 34% of that position. All right, sound good? Any questions? If not, we shall move on. All right, I'll try to keep an eye on the chat as we go. All right, are you ready for other trades? Yeah, that was a lot. Sorry, I didn't update Misty. So ish happens, as they say, right? Oh my goodness, CONY, what the heck are you doing? You know, CONY. All right, so it's a freaking CONY. What do we got here? Buy to close 506. Okay. So they closed at what, 340 strike price? It looks like they coin closed at 342, which is above the strike. So yeah, looks like a yeah for sure. Here's a 488. Yeah. Oh, this one's good. Look, 347.50. That's above the closing price. They only paid 55 cents for that one. Buy to close 37 cents. Cha-ching, baby. Purple alert. And moving a little synthetic out. 43 cents. That's good. But 687, not good. 33 cents. That's good. 77 cents. That's good. All right. Well, a lot again. CONY too, man. A lot of trades. But what you need to know, like overall, yeah, they made money for the day. They made a realized profit of 8.3 million. So that's good. So if you're a CONY holder, you're pretty much just like, you know, on the weekend, you're just hanging out with your friends. You're like, all right, coin, how you doing? They went down 0.2%. All right, so it's just a chill kind of day. You know, just chilling, killing. Right? What movie that from? Yes, go. Anyway, CONY, they went down a little less. They went down 0.14%. Is that good? Sure, it's aight. You know, it's aight. All right, what about the synthetic position? I don't care. Do you care? No, we care. There's a 300 and a 320, and it's doing fantastico because coin is priced at 342. So we'll see what that's worth in a sec, assuming we updated our formulas. So if we look at these trades, green and blue, all of them expire Friday next week. But the blue ones is what the focus is on. Covered calls, 2.2% out of the money. That's the lowest strike. Highest strike is 6.58% out of the money. All right. So can someone, all right, so I see a note here. What is Phoenix saying? Can someone alert Rod on the call spreads? He mixed a buy call and sell call. Where did I mix? Where did I mix it? All right. Are you saying on Misty? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, let's keep going. All right. So what do we got here? The value of CONY is 1.3 mil. All right. Yes, I messed up on Misty. All right. What are we talking about here? Go up. Did I miss one? Don't think so. What the heck are you talking about, bro? Bruh. What are you talking about, brusky? All right, these are the calls, sold calls. What are you talking about, the other sheet? I don't know. I don't think it matters at this point, really. But the two greens. Yeah, what about them? Yeah. They bought calls. These are the long calls, the credit call spreads. We got them. We covered them down here. We mentioned there's 37,000 contracts worth of them. So not sure what your question or statement is. But yeah, so obviously, you know, what are they attached to? I don't know. 37,000 worth. So you could say actually the 35, you know, it doesn't really match 1-to-1, but anyway. All right, let's move on. CONY, let's see, they're synthetic. It's valuable, as we saw, 129 mil. It's worth 65 cents per share on paper. Of course, if they cashed it out right now, that's what it'd be worth. Synthetic contracts, they total 40,000. They're selling calls on 40,000. Credit call spreads 40,000. All right, so they're doing the whole shebang. You know, the triple threat, as we'll just call it the triple threat, so we know going forward. All right, 30-day IV, 56%. All right, cool, whatever. 7-day forward, 55. All right, so what are they paying? Who cares? They got 25 days. We're not talking about it right now. We've got time. Time is on our side. All right, so let's move on to your boy. HOOY. Oh, we almost didn't make it. All right. Buy to close, 59 cents. But what the heck? 120. That got blown through. All right. And good to know. Good to know, sir. Buy to close, 198. Just missed it. So yeah. It looks like you win some, you lose some. This was a close race, but they did make about 61,000 in realized income for the day. Well, let's see what Robinhood did yesterday. Robin the Hood, they went up 3.1%. I mean, that's great and all, but on a Friday, damn, probably didn't expect it. Because look at HOOY, man. HOOY was slacking. They only captured 1.93%, 62% capture. We want 80, son. Give me 80. All right, bro. 80 or nothing. All right. Anyway, let's look at the synthetic. We got a 105. And Robinhood's at 124. So they're still, Robinhood is just killing it. They're killing it. They're always going up, which is good. All right. What about their covered calls for next week? Lowest strike, 0.98% out of the money. Highest strike, 4.18% out of the money. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Value of the fund, 245 mil. NAV, 68. Trade price around the same. Look at this freaking synthetic. I mean, 1089. On paper, it's worth freaking 1089 per share. Jesus Louises. All right. Synthetic contracts, 19,000. Covered calls, using all 19,000. They have credit call spreads on about 89%. 30-day IV, 56%. 7-day forward, 61%. But again, just like CONY, they declare in 25 days. So we're not really thinking about the next distribution. So now we will move on to the next fund, which is NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA, I'm sure they had trades too. Again, freaking Friday. There it is. Buy to close. There you go. 6 cents. Winner. Buy to close, 5 cents. NVIDIA had a rough week, but in the meantime, rough week or not, we made some money. Cover calls, baby. And they profited there's a realized income here about 2.2 mil. So yeah, bro. Woo-hoo. All right, so let's go to the file. NVIDIA had a chill kind of day. They went up 0.24%. NVIDIA went up 0.19%. 76% capture up and there. How's the synthetic? 165, 170. NVIDIA is priced at 176. Let's look at the trades for next week. Covered calls, 3 strikes. Lowest strike is 0.91% in the money, unfortunately. Highest strike is 1.93% out of the money. Are these safe? Well, it don't look good right now. The value of the fund is 1.7 billion. The NAV is 1614. Trade price close enough. Synthetic on paper, it's worth about 96 cents per share. Total synthetic contracts, 103,000. Again, this is another triple threat. They're doing credit call spreads on the whole shebang, right? Whole shebang. All right, 30-day IV, 33%, 7-day forward, 32. So again, nothing too exciting there. Income estimates in the negative, but they don't declare for another 18 days. All right, quick coverage, just bam, 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 wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. All right, let's move on to PLTY. All right, what are they doing? Buy to close. How you doing? Well, not that great, my guy. I thought I paid 671 because I had a strike price of 175, so I got my ass killed. All right, yeah, they got blown through on this one, so they paid 2.3 mil to close that trade. Oh boy, 4.9 mil on that one. Oh boy, 5. Oh boy. They got blown through. Their strikes got blown through. They had a loss of 12.2 mil yesterday. Rough day in the office for PLTY. Palantir did go up yesterday, obviously, hence those losing trades. Palantir went up 2.97%. PLTY went up 1.33%. Horrible capture. Only 44% up in her again. But there's nothing you could do. You know, cappity doo dah. So, yeah, we'll hope for a better week next week. All right, let's look at the synthetic. We got a synthetic 160. It's chilling there, right? It's just chilling. It's a 160. Palantir price 182. I mean, yeah, our covered calls are getting blown through, but look what's happening. We got a valuable synthetic, and I can't wait to. I don't even know what it's worth per share. It's probably gonna be pretty. So pretty. All right, look at the covered calls for next week. Oh, ouch. Well, the lowest one is already 0.06% out of the money. That's it. The highest one is 2.8% out of the money. They do have credit call spreads, so if they have to close them early and roll them up, they can. The value of the fund was 705 mil. The NAV 64, yeah, around the same price. But here it is. Here's the synthetic on paper. It's worth 850 per share. So very nice. Again, yeah, like we say, you know, when the covered calls lose, typically the synthetic is going to make a pretty penny, and right now it is. Synthetic contracts looks like they total 38,000. They're selling covered calls on only 83%, and all 83% do have the credit call spread situation attached. 30-day IV is 49, 7-day forward 46. So IV estimate based on that in the twos. But Group B, you know, they got an income estimate of 384. But again, Group B, they don't declare until another 18 days. So we'll just keep an eye on all that. All right, up next is SMCY. You know, we got a lot of funds here to cover, so we're going fast as fast as we can, right? All right, here we go. SMCY buy to close 2 cents, 12 cents, 4 cents, 7 cents, 5 cents, 4 cents. Good day. Easy day in the office for SMCY traders, right? There you go. They made about 3.8 mil in the process. How did SMCI do yesterday? They went down 0.28%. And SMCY, they actually went up 0.19%. So, yeah. All right. How's their synthetic doing? They have a synthetic 40. It expires in November. So they got time. But, you know, in the meantime, SMCI is $5 above that strike. So that's good. Covered calls for next week, 2 to 4% out of the money. Only 2 strike prices, though. The value of the fund is 344 mil. The NAV sits at $15. All right, 1583. Trade price is about the same. Synthetic per share on paper is about 209. So it's okay, I guess. It's okay. Synthetic contracts total 74,000. And they got the triple threat, all right? Credit call spreads on the whole shebang. 30-day IV, 59%. 7-day forward, 54. Income estimates negative. So we're really kind of just stuck here. We don't know what they're going to pay. This is nice, though, that the synthetic is worth 209 on paper. So we may get $1. We may get $1 out of SMCY. I know I said yesterday, I think MSTY and SMCY may pay under $1. I think MSTY will definitely pay under $1. SMCY, they have a chance to pay over $1. Maybe. I don't know, man. I don't know. But we'll find out tomorrow. We'll just throw out some guesses tomorrow, and we'll have fun with it. All right. It's all about fun and entertainment. All right. Relax. All right. Last but not least. Oh, man. TSLY fund manager must be like ripping his hair out. They've been doing trades left and freaking right, bro. Oh, my goodness. Buy to close 20 cents. Buy to close 11 cents. Buy to close 15 cents. Buy to close 29 cents. Buy to close 48 cents. Buy to close 38 cents. Buy to close. I mean, when you talk about active fund management, this is ridiculous. Like, obviously, you know, transaction count wise, I mean, my good, I could do a video just on the transaction count that they do, like on average. I mean, per fund. It's crazy. It is crazy. But that, again, this is why we pay them. You know, you hope they do their best. They make the best decisions. But in the end, for TSLY, they did make 12.9 million yesterday. So, yeah, we'll take it, bro. We'll take it. All right, Tesla again had a green day. They're always having green days lately. They went up 2.16%. And TSLY, look at you, broski. They went up 2.32%. They went up more. Tesla went up 2%. and TSLY still freaking beat it. Could you imagine? Again, we strive for an 80% capture. We got a 107% capture. So how about that? How about that? All right, synthetic. They have a 415. They have a 420, your favorite holiday. But they both expire in 2 months. And Tesla's at 426. So they are sitting pretty. They have 2 strike prices, only 2 for next week. They have a 435, 2% out of the money. And the other one's 2.68% out of the money. So yeah, not much wiggle room there. The value of the fund is 1.2 bill. The NAV is 905. All right. Synthetic on the paper, 27 cents. That's it. That's it. All right. It's early. I got time. Synthetic contracts, what is that total? Well, again, it's a triple threat. It's 29,000 contracts. They're doing the whole shebang. 30-day IV, 55%. 7-day forward, 51. They declare, not next week, but the week after, and they do have an income estimate of 262. So if they paid out 262, that would be a 375% yield. How would that feel? Would that feel good? It's not happening, but, you know, just want to ask. Group A declares, again, 11 days, 2 weeks away. All right, so that's the covered call ETFs. Now let's get to the ultra-high yielders, the true degenerates of the group. Again, yesterday was September 19th. All we do is we look at the in, the out, how much they made, credit, debit, whatever. Credit, this would be income. They made 122,000, SLTY did. Main contributors, Symbiotic, 24,000. Lemonade, 35,000, and BitTier 21,000. So good job, suckers. ULTY, they lost again 68 million. Who is the biggest contributor? Him and hers. Looks like they got blown through on the cover. Oklo again. Oh my God, Oklo. You know, we got to get the ETF inspector here. He's got to tell me this. I want a video on Oklo. Like Oklo has seemed to be the death of us. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but again, I'm just looking at a one-day movement here. Rigetti, they lost 13,000 on that. Again, covered calls. So obviously, these are probably, you know, on the up and up, getting blown through. But, you know, if they have the synthetic position, when they cash that out, that'll do well. But yeah, ugh. All right, ULTY Holdings. You got anything new? That's all we care about. You know, they still got open door. Again, that's my my gamble. Yeah, my lottery ticket. I don't know what the hell. I've been watching some videos on them. It's pretty interesting stuff. ULTY 3.4 bill. 30-day IV 81%. ULTY price change. Here we go. They went up 0.88%, but WPay beat them. WPay went up 1.15%. SLTY. All right, what does SLTY own? Duolingo. Cool. They still got that lemonade. 9% of the damn fund, too. 9% lemonade. And that's, yeah, everything else we pretty much had. The value of the fund, 11 mil. Average IV, 76. SLTY yesterday, they went down 0.09%. And YQQQ went down more. They went down 0.31%. All right. Sneak preview for tomorrow. What do we got here? This is Group D. This is how much they made since their 4-week cycle started. You could see AIYY did not make money. Neither did AMZ. Neither did Aptly. Disso did. So if we plug in the outstanding shares on Disso, right, we go to all the way over here and we click Disso and we find the outstanding shares. We hit that and we hit enter. And then you can see that they did make 24 cents per share. Who else? Winter. Winter actually made 6.2 mil. So if we want to plug that in, again, this is just a sneak little preview for tomorrow's video. We want to get the outstanding shares, 950,000. So that's, wow, Winter might get a good payment this time. 662 per share. XYZY making some money, so we'll see what that comes to per share. Bruh. Here we go. Hey, 61 cents per share. So yeah, these are the contributors who are actually making money. Everyone else is suckity-doo-dah. But you know, it's all about timing too. So we'll see. All right, what else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the coverage on the YieldMax funds. Now I'm going to take a look at my my trades. Again, I think I wanted to check my MSTY, Yeah, this was my guesstimate in the beginning of the month, 80 cents. I might be right, right? I guess this in the beginning of the month just to calculate how much I need to make for my options trades. I did not sell a covered call on MSTY yet. They had a red day. If they were green again, I was thinking about selling a $16 covered call, but I don't know. I didn't. I should have maybe, but I didn't. Maybe Monday. We'll see what. Hopefully, Bitcoin has a good weekend and MSTR can open up, you know, on green. Have a freaking green Monday. That'd be nice. All right. Anyway, let's look at TSLL. So what happened yesterday. You could see we had two contracts expiring yesterday on 9/19. We had two covered calls, one with an $11 strike, one with a $17 strike. Obviously, the 11 is way in the money. So what do? I let that one get assigned. The reason I let that get assigned is if I did a rolling order on that transaction, it would not pay me crap. Even if I went out like a month, it would still pay me crap, and it's not worth it. So I said, you know what? Let it sell. I don't care. $1,100 gone. You know, back in the account. Obviously, you don't want to sell a stock for $11. That's at 19. But hey, it is what it is. I collect a lot of premium the whole way, so it's all good. And then I had the 17. That's in the money as well, but it's not that far in the money. Only 13% in the money. So I did a rolling order on that, and you can see that one down here. Here's the 17. So if I go over here, well, I did this the day before, so this is kind of a repeat. I'm repeating myself, but either way, yes, I did that, previously. But the assignment here, that's new. But either way, let's just gray these suckers out. That's why I gray things out, so I know I already talked about it. But hey, this video started out suckity-doo-dah. It might as well continue to be suckity-doo-dah. All right, so this is what I got left over for TSLL. If I go down here now, total shares since 100 got called away, I only have 600 shares. All 600 are covered calls still. And I had to plug in the 11. Here it is, $11. If you look, lowest cost basis, the next one was $16. So again, that's a $500 capital loss. So overall, so far on this wheel, capital appreciation, 0. Capital depreciation, 2,650. However, options premium, 5,666. So overall, I am up 3,016. So, assuming, is this even updated? Let's check. There you go. Yeah, it is. Okay. All right, good. So, so the wheel continues, and TSLL for this week, I did make $125. All right, TNA Dynamite. All right, what do they got going on? Let's see. Well, this thing, we did have a put here, a $35 put. This had an expiration date of yesterday. Again, I didn't pay to close it early because it was going to expire worthless. So I just let it be and let it expire worthless. So I got my $3,500 collateral back, and I could hide this one, and we can move on. And we talked about the rolling order already. I did that the other day, so I'm not going to repeat myself there. So we can gray this one out too, and we can move on from that. But yeah, TNA, you can see that TNA wheel is slowly dying. I'm no longer selling puts because the price is too high, and I'm not going to sell puts above my $35 cost basis. So this is eventually just going to dwindle down into nothing. All the puts are just going to expire worthless. The covered call, I'll roll that. Yeah, as long as I can and collect. You can see even this time, Rolled it only a week out. I collected $43, 43% yield. I mean, why not, man? Why not? So, it's a moneymaker. So far, again, for this wheel, I made 6,777. Capital gains or losses, I don't know, actually. Let's check. This one, I do have a capital loss of 1,700. So if you net the two, I've actually made 5,000 on this wheel so far. All right. For the week on TNA, I made $43. Whoopie-doo. I do have this new tab for TNA. I'm ready for the next wheel. However, I am waiting for a price drop that may or may not happen. So I'll just let that tab sit there. The new play here, open. I know, not like me. It's an individual. It's an actual stock. But it interests me. There's nothing I could do. It just interests me. So yesterday, or no, 2 days ago, I sold more puts. So these, if you look, open. I sold a put for $8 and $9 this week. At the time they were 10% out of the money and 0% and essentially at the money. And it ended up being above both of them. So both of these did expire worthless. So that was worth the risk, obviously. So these, again, got my collateral back of what, $800, $900. We'll take it. Easy money right there. But again, this is a risky stock. You don't know. Some people call it a meme stock. I'm playing with meme stocks again. No, man, I'm feeling good about the company. I think I love the idea. I just, I didn't like go too far into it, but I'm going to play options with it for sure. In the meantime, I got another, 8 and 9 for next week. We'll see how they play out. And if open drops on Monday, then I'm going to sell another put, probably $8 or $9, maybe $7. We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm having fun with it. Why the hell not? Options supposed to be fun. Obviously, you want to make money. All right. So as far as shares go, I have no shares of open because obviously none got assigned. But I did make $203 this week, right? So if we go up here, it filled that out properly. So that helped me out for my goal for the week. AMDL, as you saw, I did one put. I looked at another put yesterday, but to be honest, the options chain kind of sucked. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this AMDL, to be honest. It may be a loner position there. And then of course, new addition leaps. I did another leap on open again because I'm playing the lottery essentially. I'm treating this as a lottery ticket. Do I think it's gonna fly to the moon? I don't know. But I did this leap. I did, based on some discussions I had on Spaces, I did go further out. I did use, buy a call with a long dated expiration, May of next year. So we'll see how that goes. 238 days out. Same strike, $9. But this one did cost me $440 per share or $440. So again, we'll see how these plays out. And it could be in the end, if they don't work out, I lost $809. Okay. Again, I'm not saying I'm not going to do another leap. I may do another leap because again, this is an experiment for me. It could be an expensive experiment, right? But once I get to like $2,000, I'm gonna stop from there and just let it ride. But I want to get some of these leaps further dated too. I want to go out at least a year. If I can go over a year, if it's priced right, maybe I could do it. I don't know. We'll have to think about it. But again, I'm playing around with leaps. I know nothing about leaps, so I'm learning as I go, so we can learn together. All right, open positions. I did not add these other stocks on there, but TSLY, you can see everything's pretty much in the money. So all these calls, the way TSLY stands, everything will be signed. But I'm hoping Tesla does come back down to reality a little bit. And then I can, play around with this wheel, sell more covered calls. But if not, this is going to be a goner, just like TNA. The wheel will have to, eventually finalize. TNA, again, like I said, this is going to be bye-bye. Look at this calls, 8% in the money. It is what it is. All right. So now we go to the weekly income. I made $414 this week. I know it's not a lot of money. My goal was $441. So yet again, 3 weeks in a row, I have not hit the goal. I am behind by $221. But again, I'm not going to force anything either. Updated balance in the account, $57,000. Available cash sits at $33,000, which is 57%. Total amount invested in actual stocks, ETFs, $24,000, which is 42%. Pending puts, $14,600, which is about 43% of the available cash. So actual cash, this is the key number, is $18,000. So in case the market tanks on Monday, this is how much I have to play. Of course, I do use margin. I have 29,000 available in margin, and I use this margin instead of this margin because this is a bill pay account and I pay bills out of it, which means it's withdrawable, right? So the withdrawable amount that could pay bills is 29,000. If I did not pay bills out of it, I could be brave and use 98,000, but I definitely do not want to. But that would be interesting for sure. I know a lot of people do play it that way, and they do well, especially in this type of market. So good for them. All right, that's the update. That was a lot of stuff. I know. Let's pull up Bitcoin again, see what's going on. 115 range still. Yep. All right, I'm gonna put on some music, see if you guys got questions, and then we'll call it a day. All right, guys. Sorry, I haven't read the comments at all. You guys aren't talking to me anyway. You're talking amongst yourself, which is all good. Any questions for the day? Any comments for myself or the community? Dividend degenerates. I'm doing my first divvy prediction video on Rex Granite Yield. Damn, that is a lot of predictions. Wow. Yeah, share it in my Discord under the shared videos channel. Tag me too, I'll watch it. Okay, we have a question. Do you think Jay and Scott could improve upon their MSTY winter covered call strategies by learning more about Bitcoin, Seller, and MSTR stock preferred offering? Well, again, the current strategy, yeah, could they change the current strategy? Yeah, they'd have to update the prospectus, but I'm not sure, what you would want them to change it to. But obviously, yes, there's always room for improvement, no doubt about it, right? MSTR, it's a fund, a fun fund, and I believe, like they may have some funds coming out. I think a 25% target fund on like a MSTY, but 25% yield. And I think if they have that, they could probably play it to capture most of the upside. You know what I mean? Because right now they're trying to capture, at least they're trying to yield you what the IV is, and that's hard to do without getting your covered calls blown through, right? So yeah, I mean there's no limit to what they can do. There's going to be more products, more offerings down the road. But Grumpy Toad, back to the freaking bidet. No, I do not. I wish I did, actually. Some of my friends do, though, and I love bidets. In fact, I definitely need a bidet. All right. Check, enter. Congratulations, you passed. Who passed? All right. No, you just have to answer some questions. I won 90s pop culture quiz. Did you? 30-year mortgage came down. All right. I don't know who's talking to who here. Question: when is the Granite shares review expected? Either next week or the week after, probably. Just about done, I think. But yeah, you excited for it? I think I'm kind of excited for it. It's just a little different, and it's mostly automated too, which is going to make my life a hell of a lot easier. So yeah, I'm glad you guys are looking forward to it. Video question: what is your thought process on leaps? What are your Greek parameters to pull the trigger? There are no Greek parameters. It's simply a degenerate play, right? Like I said, I don't know. Again, we had that call with Pio the other Monday, and he talked about this stock. And when he talked about it, at the time, it was $5. And I during the video, I said I'm probably going to do a leap on it. I didn't do it, and it jumped to 9. But you know what? I'm not going to let that get to me. I still want to do the leap, and I did it. I did it at well, 8, right? No, 9 and 9. I did 2 leaps, but I did put the deltas, so I do have the peaks in here. But again, I'm not familiar with, you know, as I didn't use them, right, one way or the other. But the goal was to sell a leap, you know, or buy a leap at the money, essentially, right, around there, and or in the money, and just pick further dated 6 months to a year out, and hope it goes up. You know, again, this is not, I'm not doing anything complicated here. I'm just buying it, hoping it goes up, and that's the end of the story. But the more important piece for me is if it does go up, say it goes up to like $15, how do I treat that? Because the way I want to do it is I don't want to take the whole profit, right? So say it goes up by November up to $15. What I want to do is I want to take the profit at the time, but you know, say it's, I don't know, $500, and then use some of that profit to roll it via buying another call further dated, higher strike, you know, 15 at the time. I don't know, that's my thought. I've never done it, but that's my thinking, to keep it like active, to keep my lottery ticket active. I'm going to profit on the way up. Like I'll take a profit, roll it up, take a profit, roll it up. That's my plan. If it doesn't go up, obviously this is a waste of money, but it's not really a waste of money because it's a learning experience for me. At the very least, even if I don't make a dime out of this, it's just me learning. I will. It's just right now, it's just not worth it. The upside potential, it's too much, I feel like. So there's no strike that I'd feel safe on. Once you get a bidet, you will hate travel. I hate traveling anyway, really, to be honest. I don't really go anywhere. So the bidet will not cement that. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm overlapping on LA's premiere. My bad, LA. I know he's not here anymore, but all right. How in the world do you keep all your spreadsheets straight? Well, I screw up on occasion, that's for sure. But you know, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I work on something and then I kind of forget about it, and I realize it later on, like, oh damn, you know, because I have all these ideas and not enough time. So yeah, I don't know. But the ones I can monitor the ones I do, like the options one, very important for me to keep, you know, this maintained, so I can learn and show you guys as I go. Okay. Granite shares is starting to become my favorite. Health and Wealth, welcome. I was looking at open options premiums yesterday for 2 weeks out. Yeah, man, it's freaking, the premium's awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna trade options. Not only am I doing leaps because I want to make money on them long term, but yeah, I'm doing the wheel. So I'm selling kind of aggressive puts on them because I kind of want to get a sign. So yeah, in the meantime, I'm gonna make some money on them. Has anyone seen Miggs? Good question. Well, he's been fasting forever, so I'm starting a fast today. After dinner, I'm gonna fast from approximately 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Monday. So I'm gonna do a 2-day fast. And this challenge is different because it's over a Sunday. It's over a weekend during football. So I'm just gonna keep busy at home. Yeah, me and Grumpy, we're grumpy old men, right? We just stay home. Once going to bike ride. I'm going for a run after this, actually. And then I'm going to try to get my kids to run after that. All right, so yeah, we got to head over to LA's premiere. Time is pretty much up. Sorry for being you know, a little late. 24 to 48 hour fast is healthy. Yes, feels like it. I have 7. Oh my God, 7 dogs. The bidets play music. Yeah, say mine. I don't need music. I'll just sing. I'll just sing for mine, right? Anyway, as always, guys, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, you know, come back tomorrow and we'll be more entertaining. We'll try to be more entertaining. That is. If you enjoy this content, please hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Hit the heart on X. It goes a long way. It helps the channel grow naturally. And if you have any questions, leave them down below and we'll go from there. Outside of that, it's keyword time. We got to get to the end of the video, and we're 56 minutes in, and it's keyword time. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to say the keyword. What is the keyword? What is the keyword? I guess the freaking keyword is bidet. You guys just keep talking about bidets, so the keyword is bidet. Yeah, might as well get that out of the way, right? Get the keyword to be debate, not debate, bidet, because we all love bidets. Who doesn't love a nice bidet? You know, there's variations of bidets. There's ones that they connect to the toilet. They shoot straight, and then there's ones I've seen in Mexico. They shoot up. Those are nuts. But yeah, man, freaking bidets. They're awesome. I mean, they should be everywhere. Like it should be built in the freaking toilet. Like all toilets should have bidets. There's not even a question, right? It would save on toilet paper, right? What do you think? Yeah, this conversation is heading probably the wrong direction. But yeah, if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it to myself and all these other suckers in here, you got to say the keyword. The keyword today is bidet. All right. So whether you're watching on Twitter, X, YouTube, whatever, you know, you got to type it in. And that way I know and everyone else knows that you love bidets and you love watching this video. All right. Japanese bidets, I don't even want to know. We'll talk about that maybe another day. All right, I'm out of here. Have a great day, everyone. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning, 6:30. Later.